Hi guys, this is a full camera review of the Xiaomi 12 and I am recording this video in 1080p at 30 frames per second because while recording this video the phone heated up and it's not allowing me to record the 1080p at 60 frames per second video. Anyways, in the 1080p at 60 frames per second you will only get smooth motion. Otherwise, I think most users are going to stick to the 1080p at 30 frames per second because this phone has serious heating issues and the camera otherwise is really good. I do hope and wish that Xiaomi fixes these heating issues as soon as possible so that we can use this camera without running into any kind of problems. For the video resolution and the mic recording quality, you guys are going to be the judge and you have to drop your own thoughts in the comment section down below. Watch this camera review until the end and let me know how do you find this video. Let's move on to the other parts of this camera review now. Xiaomi 12's main camera is a 50 megapixel Sony IMX766 sensor. The other camera details of this phone are on your screen. Okay, let me quickly give you an idea about the camera application of the Xiaomi 12. The camera application welcomes you with this photo mode and right here you have the 0.6x ultra wide camera. And this camera can zoom up to 10x and on the top here we have the HDR, we have the AI, the filters, the Google Lens integration is there, and right here we have some other additional options. The frame option, timer, movie frame, grid 9, super macro mode is here to capture the macro images, and the settings along with some other options. So if we go towards the left side, we have the video mode here. This phone can record up to 8K at 24 frames per second videos from its rear camera. You can record in ultra wide mode in 1080p at 60 frames per second and 4K at 30 frames per second mode as well, but the ultra wide does not work in the 4K at 60 frames per second. Otherwise, you have the 60 frames per second video compatibility for up to 4K resolution in this phone. The front camera, however, is limited to 1080p at 60 frames per second. I wish it had at least 4K at 30 frames per second for the front camera, but unfortunately it doesn't have that. In the Pro mode, you get some advanced options, and a good thing about the Pro mode is that you do get the RAW option here. So you can take very nice and large in size images to edit in post-processing, and these are all the options for the Pro mode. Let me know if you guys want to see a dedicated guide explaining the Pro mode of the Xiaomi 12. Going towards the right, we have the portrait mode of this phone, and then we have the high-res 50 megapixels mode. It is basically inside the more options, but I have dragged it to the camera tray here, and these are the features we get under more options: short video, panorama, document scanner, the vlog mode, slow motion, time lapse, movie effects, long exposure, dual video, and the clone mode. I will quickly show you the settings of this phone's camera as well. In the settings, you get the option to add watermark to your images. You can enable motion capture, and these are all the other options right here on your screen. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rear camera videos, and after that we'll take a look at the photos taken on the Xiaomi 12. I really like the video result of the Xiaomi 12. At first, it has a load of resolution options for the videos starting from 1080p going all the way up to 8K. You can record ultra wide videos in 60 frames per second in 1080p. This is something that I had not seen in a Xiaomi device before. The 60 frames per second video recording goes up to 4K and 8K resolution is limited to 24 frames per second. This phone has a very high-end stabilization. You can see that the videos are coming out really smooth despite me walking while holding the phone in my hand. Watch these video samples and make sure to drop your own analysis in the comment section. I will catch you guys with the photos in just a minute. Let's take a look at an ultra-wide image first. This image overall has vibrant colors. Dynamic range is not very good. The sky is kind of blown off. White areas are not being managed very well. Details in the ultra-wide images are not supposed to be super high, and that's pretty much the case with this image of the Xiaomi 12 as well. This one is now a normal image. It's much more vibrant than the ultra-wide image. Details are high in this one and sky is not too much blown off. The green colors in this image are too much vibrant and saturation is very high as well. In this high-res 50 megapixels image, the colors have certainly gone dull. The image has a very warm color tone and highlights are not being managed well once again. This image has super high details. That's because of the big size of the image. This image needs retouching in post and only then it will become usable. Let's now take a look at a portrait image. I like this one. This image has the best look among all the images that we have seen so far. Saturation is definitely very high, colors are popping well. The background blur is giving the greenery a very nice touch. Edge detection is also very good and details are appropriate. This is your look at all the camera modes in one frame. The only image I don't like is the high-res 50 megapixels one. It looks very pale and dull. All other images have very good colors. I would rate the portrait image as the best one. The normal image falls at the second place and ultra-wide falls at the third place. Do tell me about your thoughts on all these images in the comments below. Now this is your look at another set of ultra-wide normal and 50 megapixels image. The 50 megapixels mode is only good for taking big in size images that you can either crop in or edit easily in the post processing. Otherwise, I don't think so that this is a very practical mode. There is a clear difference of colors in all these images. The 50 megapixels mode will always have the highest details and ultra wide will always have the poor details. In most of the cases, you will stick to the normal photography mode and I think it won't disappoint you. I am now going to show you some zoomed in images. This phone can take up to 10x zoom images and this is a 2x, 5x and 10x image. I think the result isn't too bad. This camera performs nicely. It is a flagship camera after all. You will now see a lot of rear camera samples taken both indoor and outdoor. In the broad daylight, the Xiaomi 12 takes incredibly good images. It does not disappoint at all. The colors pop nicely, the dynamic range and highlights get managed really well. I really liked its edge detection too. I could not see this phone messing up the shadows or highlights in any of these images. I think it needs a little bit of optimization to handle the sun and sky. That's where it is unable to manage the dynamic range, but if you are not in direct contact with the sunlight and capturing colors outdoor away from the sunlight, this camera does a beautiful job. In the indoor images, I found the shadows going a bit dark, but even in the indoor images, the colors popped nicely and images were detail rich. I would like you guys to analyze all these images as well and share your own opinion in the comments below. The macro camera of this phone also performs equally good. I think I'm not able to find the issues with the images because I have been reviewing the mid-range Xiaomi devices all my life and I used to find issues. The flagship Xiaomi device performs beyond my expectations. Now you have the night mode and the non-night mode images side by side. The night mode of this phone is not super impressive. I've seen better night mode images. The Xiaomi 12 is not a great night mode photography device. Maybe a software update can improve its night mode result further. let's take a look at the selfies. Selfies overall look very nice, details are high, but my face looks so soft in all these selfies. The selfie tone when it comes to the face is definitely too much soft. I think you can play with the beauty effect to bring a more natural look to the images. The selfies have a close to real color tone as well. Saturation is balanced, portrait mode selfies also look good, and I have no complaints with the edge detection either. Can't really find out any issues here. This camera performs equally well while capturing selfies in the artificial light indoors. Let me know what do you guys think about this phone's front camera. It's time for the conclusion. I really like the camera of the Xiaomi 12. It's impressive, powerful, and it's feature rich. There isn't anything too wrong with this phone's camera, but yes, if the phone keeps heating up and keeps shutting down the camera or keeps blacking out the video recording options, I certainly won't be able to recommend it. I don't know why the 8K video recording option exists in this phone, because if you record in the 8K, the phone is going to heat up too much and it will suddenly shut down. So if you're looking forward to getting the Xiaomi 12 for the camera, yes, I do recommend it, but with a caution. I suggest you guys to wait for Xiaomi to fix the heating issues and only invest your hard-earned money in this phone after Xiaomi has officially addressed all these issues in the Xiaomi 12. Let me know what do you guys think about this phone, and also drop your feedback about my video. Hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't yet. With that being said, I will sign off and see you all in the next one.